The impeachment threat. My next guest says Michael Cohen's plea deal is the latest ploy to remove President Trump from office. Joining me right now is Mark Penn. He is former senior advisor to the Clintons, president and managing partner of the Stagwell Group, and he is the author of Microtrends Squared. Microtrends Squared is the book. You got to check it out. Mark, it's great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Maria.
So I was just reading your op-ed in The Hill. Once again, right on point in this op-ed. Cohen's plea deal is a prosecutor's attempt to set up Trump. In it, you write this: contrast what is going on here with the treatment of millions of dollars paid to a Democratic law firm, which in turn paid out money to political research firm Fusion GPS and British spy Christopher Steele without listing them on any campaign expenditure form. There is no question that hiring spies to do opposition research in Russia is a campaign expenditure. Yet no prosecutorial raids have been sprung on the law firm, Fusion GPS, or Steele. The reason? It does not get Trump. Mark, let's talk about this. I've been making this point now for a little while, and you write about it. Kim Strassel wrote about it today in the Journal. She's got a great op-ed calling the law justice partial. Tell us what you see is happening here, Mark.
Well, what I see is that associates of Trump are being targeted, and their personal backgrounds researched, and apparently a number of them didn't pay their taxes, but they're taking unrelated issues to try to force them, and I think in the Cohen case, to plead to things that I don't even think are crimes. Whether or not these non-disclosure agreements were sought are personal expenses. This was litigated in the Edwards case. It was ruled by the FEC. We went through an entire year with President Clinton in impeachment over similar matters. The country rejects this. For this now to have devolved back into this, and at the same time, if one were really concerned about FEC reports suddenly raising them up to criminal prosecutions, one would be concerned about the millions of dollars that went to the law firm that then went, and was not disclosed, that it went to sponsor the dossier, which was an important matter in the election.
It was a really important matter, and we know during 2016, July of 2016 was when the FBI launched an investigation into the Trump campaign and to try to find collusion between Donald Trump and the Russians. We have not seen any evidence to that, and yet we also know that Hillary Clinton was also under investigation for her email abuse, and a lot of people say it wasn't much of an investigation at all. The FISA abuse, they used this dossier, which was unverified, to get a warrant to spy on an American citizen, and yet all of these things are right there in front of us. So many people have already been fired at the top of the FBI and the Department of Justice. Can Robert Mueller just completely ignore all of this stuff?
Well, he has, and he completely continues to do exactly that. And in fact, he's let his investigators and prosecutors just go after Trump people and administration people, without any judicial or prosecutorial, restraint whatsoever. I think that's really clear when you kind of look at what happened with Cohen. You see that in the tens and scores of people who've been investigated. You see that in what's happening with Roger Stone. Look, one of Stone's aides, at least, is fighting the subpoena and really raising the valid question is, how did Mueller, with all the powers he's been granted, all the independence he has, ever get appointed without having gone through Senate confirmation? There's no other person as powerful as Mueller in the government, with their own budget, with their own, in effect, police force, FBI teams, and prosecutors that didn't face that kind of confirmation. And that, I think, suit has a lot of merit. Didn't win in the district level, but it's going to go up all the way to the Supreme Court.
It's just incredible, Mark. I mean, you have been a straight shooter, and you call balls and strikes. You used to work for the Clintons. So to hear you're a Democrat, but you call things out as you see them honestly. We want to see some honesty in these investigations. And that's why it's important to point these things out, but it's just gotten so political. Even the media, just like they've just thrown out their ideals and their values about what we hold so dear, that our freedoms, that you don't just launch an investigation when there's no evidence. You don't wiretap somebody for no reason because you don't like the guy.
Right. You don't use a Logan statute that's never been used in hundreds of years to try to ensnare and investigate someone who's going to be national security advisor. You know, you don't go after people's lawyers and look through all the confidential and lawyer protected material. You don't force people and threaten them with repercussions against their family to get plea deals. Look, I think Cohen would have pled to the Lindbergh kidnapping if it would have gotten him time off. I mean, it's completely absurd what's happened here. Justice is no longer being served by the way this is run. Any school child can see the double standard that's applied, and the rule seems to be, let's get Trump. If it's not Russia now, let's make it these non-disclosure agreements. Let's elevate these campaign finance issues as though, in fact, millions of dollars of fines aren't routinely paid by campaigns over matters just similar like this on a civil basis. And particularly, the FEC ruled in the Edwards case that none of this was a campaign expenditure, that these are personal expenditures.
Right. So you think that the personal expenditures, he paid the women so that they wouldn't talk about an affair or whatever they did together. And how did they get to campaign expenditures then? How did they get Michael Cohen to say, yes, I'm guilty of campaign expenditures and abuse?
Because they got him on tax evasion and said, look, we'll go easier on you if you just plead the way we want you to plead on these election matters, even though if they had a trial, just like with Edwards, I don't think they could win the trial on this. And so that's how they then say, oh, let's bring the president in because he's now conspiring in illegal acts, and oh, that's impeachment. Well, they weren't crimes to begin with. These were perfectly legal activities, non-disclosure agreements that were completely routine, and they're turning legal actions into crimes. That's what was attempted in '98. It's why I was so against it in '98 and why I'm against it today, and why I think Democrats and Republicans should have been against both, because democracy and votes ought to decide elections, not runaway independent councils.